3.
Welcome to another episode of the Luv Shak. I'm your host, Dr. Love, Big Al.
And I'm your co-host, Charles. Good evening, Albert.
Good evening, Charles. I tell you what, on the other line, we've got another great superstar, and he's a legend. And he's going to be at the April 28th event. He's none other than son of the legend. Here he is, Bobo Brazil Jr. Hey, Bo, how you doing, sir?
Pretty good, sir. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing great. I'll tell you what, we're going to start it off with Charles. He's good at these interviews. So, Charles, I'll tell you what, you want to go ahead and get her started, and we'll talk to Bo for a bit.
Sure will. Thank you. Good evening, Bo. Thanks for being on our show. We appreciate it, sir. No problem, sir. You're very welcome, sir. Well, Bo, I usually start out asking everybody where they were trained, but I'm going to do a little bit different with you tonight, if that's okay. Okay, lay it on me. All right, I want to know about the birth of Calypso Gym and how that started. Calypso Gym started down in Memphis, Tennessee. I was working with the Dublin Hillbillies.
Go ahead and put it on.
And we went over to Jonesboro, Arkansas, and I jumped from the top of the rope down to the floor and back up on the apron and flipped back over. And one of them looked at me and said, "You know what? You remind me of a guy called Calypso Jim." I was rapping a disco dog, and I said, "What do you mean?"
No shit.
He said, "Well, now you're Calypso Jim." I said, "Okay." And then I rapped a couple more bits around Jonesboro and went to Memphis and got a chance to rap for Lawler. Then when I left there, I met Dick the Bruiser. And when I met Dick the Bruiser, I came up to Indianapolis and worked for him about 10 years. But during my 10 years working, I ran across a guy named Don Floyd. He kept watching me and looking at me, and he said, "Calypso, you remind me of a guy named Bobo Brazil." So I looked at him and laughed. I said, "Really, I do?" "Yeah." So he booked me in a show in Muncie, Indiana, and I rapped him. And I didn't know that he was bringing the old man in. He brought him in, and they put us in a tag. And as I was leaving out the door, he looked at me again. He said, "You still remind me of Bobo Brazil." So I said, "Yeah." Okay, so he got in the car, and I went back, and Bruiser had me in Fort Wayne that Saturday night. And I wrestled, and then my father, he was after me wrestling, and then everybody kept saying, "God, you wrestle just like Bobo Brazil," which they didn't know. They didn't know that that's who trained me. Right. Well, good secret. Yeah. I went on and went to Japan and came back. I went to New Zealand and I came back. And so I ran up on a couple of hillbillies again. And one of them lived in Truman, Arkansas, in a trailer house. But he had a rifle ring in the back of his filling station. So I went there to work out, and I did flying hints and everything. And while I was doing that, I didn't know that there was another promoter watching me out of St. Louis. And he said, "You know, I'd like to put you on the card, kid." And I said, "Why would you want to put me on the card?" He said, "I can use your ability to wrestle up there." So when I went up there, I got a chance to meet Mongolia Stomper, Spike Hubis, Harley Race, and all of them. But I didn't know that I was wrestling Harley Race. So I'm back there getting ready. And as I was getting ready, Chick John said, "Come back there and say, 'Hey, kid, you kind of feel like guys I know.'" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Can you wrestle?" I said, "I don't know." I said, "I'm kind of nervous right now. You know, you get that nervous when you're going out." "Sure." I wrestled somebody, especially a guy like Harley Race. Well, Harley Race had he's going to just kick your butt. But when I locked up with him and I did a couple moves, he said, hey, you pretty fast, kid. So the match went on, and he gave me that knee of his back across the forehead a couple times. It stung me once or twice. I said, wow, man, this guy's getting serious. So as we got back to the dressing room, he shook my hand. He said, how would you like to go wrestle for Bob Dagger? I said, huh? He said, Bob Dagger. Well, I'm a young man. I'm all over the place. Didn't know I was building a name for myself in Cliff so deep. So I go back to Bruiser, and I tell Bruiser about it. And Bruiser looked at me, I don't know, kid. I got you up in Fort Wayne again, and I got you first in Indiana, and then I got you in East St. Louis. So I said, okay, so I didn't know that Bruiser was getting me in shape, though. When I go out to his house, he always makes me run to the store. The store is about 3 blocks. He said, hey, kid, ever go to the store? He said, just don't let your pop be cold. So I called myself hustling up there and getting back. I did that like 3 days in a row. I go to Central, Illinois. They fly me in. I'm nervous. I'm a young kid like that. I don't know what's going on too much about the business. And then when I step in the building, I see 1 or 2 guys that I know. And I kept looking at Tommy Rich. And I wonder, I said, who is this blonde big kid? And he was over there just running his mouth, just like he knew everybody in there. He goes out and has his match, and he comes back and put on his boots. But he's ready to say about the young kid that he's wrestling, so it makes me nervous, like, oh, man, I'm going to go out there. So I go out there, they call me out next, and I go out there. There's the main event, and I said, now, who's they putting in here? And then I hear Ric Flair music play. And I go, oh, man, I get cold head. My hands are sweating, so he played with me for 1 hour. The key that I had to win. Came back, he beat me. But I got good moves in, and, you know, it went back and forth for a while. He's the veteran, I had to respect him. And I get back to him, Bob, I could tell him that, how would you like to work for me? I said, well, I want Mr. Bruiser right now. He said, I would get in touch with Bruiser. So they shared me back and forth for about 3 years. And then Vince picked me up. I wrestled Vince for 6 years as an underdog in the undercard. So I got a chance to meet Andre, wrestle him. Adrian Adonis, Dick Murdoch when they were the tag champions, wrestled them. Rocky Johnson, Tony Adams when they were the tag champions. I got a chance to wrestle them. Mr. Fuji, Big John Studd. Most of the other guys, S.D. Jones are coming through there. And I learned a lot from those guys. I'm on the road making money and really young man, like I said, didn't know what to do with it and stuff. And I had some people in Evansville. I came to Evansville, and so Lawler called me down to the Coliseum one night. And I go down to the Coliseum, and he's tagging young Billy Trapp or go against the Rock and Roll Express. We had one heck of a match. You know, we went on them, but we had one heck of a match. And I go home, I go back to Indianapolis. And Don Fluid meets me at the Greyhound bus station. And I think I'm going home for a few minutes, a day or two, and Don Fluid takes me and we go to Bedford, Indiana. And me and Spike Huber teamed up together, and I'm going, why are they teaming me up with all these guys? You know, I don't even talk to nobody. You know, I'm sitting in the corner. We get out there, we just grab for the rest of the time. Like, okay, if I didn't have the experience I had, I would be like a little bird flying from corner to corner, don't know what I'm doing, don't know what I'm laughing. So, you know, and Floyd, he told me that she's a wrestler, but she still stay with somebody that I know. And so as it went on, when I go to Ben Harbor, Michigan, I never did let nobody know that I went home and nothing like that. You know, my father got sick. I got tagged with him a couple times, and he managed. Some of those YouTube, he managed me for about a year. And, you know, and he caught up with him. Sickness caught up with him and stuff. But I was in, now I was listening to Dave Field wrestling. I guess Andy Shane, Mr. Bruiser Jr., and that's man running record. And we beat him. I go to get out the ring, the referee started holding me. I go like, what is this guy holding me for in the ring? I'm about to knock him out. He don't know what he's doing. I'm sweating hot. And then my father said, ladies and gentlemen, you see that young man standing in the ring with the red boots on? And I looked around. I'm the only one that got red boots on. Now, from this day forward, he's Bobo Brazil Jr. That's my son. And I almost made him. Oh, he done let everybody know. And everybody running up to me. Man, we didn't know that was your dad. I go, yeah, that's my father. Father and his shame. He was there and stuff. He was my tag partner. And I knew it was something when my dad asked me to wear boots. Right. And Dave McLean, he was there. He was going, ladies and gentlemen, he's no longer Luv Shak. He's Bobo Brazil Jr. And the crowd is going now. And Kimberly. They'll play the music for NFW. I gave his very first match. I chopped Kimberly so hard, Kimberly looked at me. He told me, he said, hey, are we fighting? Are we playing? I said, this is wrestling. Welcome to championship wrestling. That's the very words I told him. I thought about all the days that I took the beats and looking at the lights out through the years. It's about time for me to give it back to somebody else. That's right. I understand that. Bobo, I want to ask you a couple questions here. Now, you and I go back. I've known you for a while, and your dad. And I want to ask you something. You mentioned a name, Don Pruitt, and a lot of people don't know this, but I started out breaking into the business. I didn't wrestle for him, but I used to put out posters for Don Pruitt. And I did just about everything you could. And I want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong. Could Don Pruitt not promote a show? He could say he was going to have a show at 3 o'clock that afternoon. I've never seen nothing like it, and he would pack the place out. He would sell it out every time. You know, he had Joe Cago and Mike Dupree with him. You know, and sometimes I feel was a great one out for him. But like I said, we went to Fort Branch, Indiana there, and sold the place out. I couldn't believe it when I walked in the gym. The place was jammed. Like it. I haven't believed it. The man had top skin for promotion. Well, now, when I started with him, when I started helping him, this was 1972, I guess it was, 71, 72, somewhere around there. And he was using a lot of bruisers, guys. And we was running a little town called Caruthersville, Indiana. I know you know where that is. Yeah, I know what that is, believe me. And he would pack that place. I mean, you couldn't get one more farmer in that building. He was using Von Rasky, your father, Wilbur Snyder. I mean, he just amazed me. He amazed me many times, too, you know, because Mr. Wilbur Snyder's son, Mike Snyder, when he was in the business, you know, he didn't stay in the business too long. We tagged together against Wilbur and Bruce. All the way in the back, we were playing paper rock scissors, and who was going to get beat? Didn't know both of them was going to really get beat. We took a whooping that day. And the next week, Don called in the Crushers. I had never seen the Crushers, but heard a lot about it. Man, you talking about two tough guys together, Ruger and the Crushers. I don't see how any team would last in the ring with it. Man, I woke up the next morning, I was so sore I couldn't hardly turn over. I said, well, I guess this is my really first real raffle. And I'm telling you, I was sore. Taking a hot shower did not do no good. Right. And it took me like, them guys were tough. You know, it's not like the guys in the 50 days. Well, now, Bobo, let me ask you something. At the time you were working, I know when your father was working for Dick, was it Wilbur his booker? Wilbur was the booker. That's what I thought. Something I wanted, excuse me. What I wanted to ask you is this right here. If you don't mind, and I know you saw some of those battles as a child, would you please describe some of the bloodiest battles that I've ever seen was with your daddy and the Sheik up at Cobo Arena? That was money. every match, not only Cobo Red and Ohio, they had some of the bloodiest matches you ever wanted to see.
Oh, yeah. They would sell it out at a drop of a hat.
Everywhere when they went to Akron, Ohio, and him and the Sheik would just step in the ring, and people would go nuts, they were screaming and hollering. Screaming and hollering. I mean, blood was everywhere. Probably his buddy blood fly everywhere. But he kept coming back and he kept laying the headbutts on. And I'm going like, man, I kind of begin to feel sorry getting rough. I said, why don't he lay down? Why don't he just get out the ring? Man, oh man, really putting it on him. And then the next night, it was the same thing. Night after night. They even went over to Fort Hero. And I said, man, why are they just really doing this? Night after night, they're killing one. But the place would be damn packed. If people would drive, it's not like people drive there. Some of them would drive 200-300 miles. But I've seen people drive 500-600 miles to see that match.
Oh, yeah, those were some classic matches. Also, I want to ask you, I've shared the dressing room a few times with Jimmy Valiant, and he told me, I didn't know this, but did you know Bruiser's the one that broke him into business?
Yeah.
I want to ask you something. Out of all the men that you worked for, did you have mucho respect for Dick the Bruiser? I heard he was just one of those kind of guys that just was a tough guy, but would help you at a drop of a hat if you need be.
Definitely was. You know, I show you how good he was back in 88. He had told me he was going to send me to Japan.
I know.
I was getting ready to go to FNW, Frontier Martial Art Rapping over Japan.
Right.
He told me to get your passport, you'll be ready to go next year. So, you know, him telling me that, I go, well, okay, but I'm doing little spots around there, and so with Jerry Valiant, Guy Mitchell up in the Cincinnati, and, you know, wherever Vince was close by at, he would usually St. Louis and stuff. I would go with him. So I get a phone call one day. It was my mother. She said, you got to go get your kids. I said, where? Why? You know, back then when you meant to go get your kids, child support was on you somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's all right. So he called me one day. I was out to his house, get the rain truck ready so they could pick it up. And his son, we run Redmo, and his daughter called me in the house. Well, she was white, called me in the house. Said, my dad want to talk to you. Hey, you take that Mercedes of mine, give my credit card, you go down to Arkansas and get those kids. I mean, do it right now. And I'm going, Bruce, I don't have the money. I didn't say that. You get the credit card. Michelle got everything ready for you. I walks out, and I get this man gray Mercedes and drive all the way to Arkansas. I get my kids. I go to see what happened. My wife had killed my ex-boyfriend by accident. Christmas Eve. I pick up my two kids, and everybody's looking at me saying, you know, here's the black guy got a Mercedes Benz. He's filling it up with championship wrestling credit card. You know, and I had to call her, Michelle, so she can tell them it's okay. You know, they know I got the card. I mean, people were calling and they want to call Bruiser when the police stopped me. They want to call Bruiser, but they knew him in the Midwest area down in there because he came in and wrestled Lawler several times. Right. And stuff. And so I came on back and everybody looked at me and they go, man, you're the only one Bruiser ever met drove his Mercedes Benz. You drive a limousine around here. Nobody said no, but you're the only one to show that he let those that. I go, I don't know, I guess, you know, he has a good heart. He didn't go down out there. He has a good heart. He helped raise him and his wife up, raise my kids.
Hey, Bob.
I've never heard anything but good about him. And also, I wanted to ask you this, Bobo. A while ago, you said that you went to St. Louis. Now, was the promoter you were speaking of, was that Sam Bunchnick?
Sam Bunchnick was the promoter. You know, he brought in the Mongolian Stumper, John Studd, cubic, you know, all of that.
You can make a good living. How many nights a week were you guys working back then, Bo?
Five nights a week.
Wow. Sometimes maybe would it be safe to say a matinee in there every now and then?
Usually the ones on Friday night was the bad day. St. Louis. You know, I have went 7 nights a week.
Wow.
Come home on Friday. I wake up that morning, you get a phone call. Can you go? I would come to Kentucky and wrestle. They asked me to come to Kentucky and wrestle. I come to Kentucky for Miss Linden wrestle. And then I would leave then and probably go to Henderson on Sunday and wrestle. And then on my way back home, during the daytime, 3 o'clock in the evening, Don Floyd would call me and say, can you get the Fort Branch in there? But I just left Henderson, so I got to turn. I'm going down 67. I got to turn all the way back and come there and wrestle. And then later on that night, we go to Washington, Indiana. That was on my way back there enough. It would be 12, 1 o'clock before I got home. And then Dale Mann. I wrestled for Dale Mann a whole lot. And he was a man was straight. That was a great promoter. When he won, he got. He come in and said, you do this, and that was it. You do that. You didn't do no more than that. So that promoter would jack you up in the corner in a minute. I seen him do it many guys. I never had no problem out of it.
Well, I'll say, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Me and Tom Jones wrestled for him 3 or 4 nights a week. You know, all during the summer was off season, and Dale would run. He would run during the off season. You know, he would book the tour,
right,
and fairgrounds and everywhere. So we always go work with Dale. The Vince would call me and snatch me out and stuff. I never had no. There's nothing bad I can say about Dale, Don Floyd, none of the promoters, because they all treated me with highly respect.
Right. Well, now, when I first started, I told you I would help Don do the posters and such. Dale Mann was his big baby face.
Yeah, Dale was
that was his big baby face. He was breaking him.
Hey, Charles.
Yes, sir.
Are you there?
I'm here. We're just talking about the old days.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I was going to ask Bo about his upcoming match, April 28th. I didn't know if he was about to wrap it up or not.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Al, I'll be honest with you. Me and Bo could talk. I was going to get into Texas Bob Goggle, but I'll let that go. I want to tell you something right now. Bo, the guys that Bo's talking about.
Yeah.
Right there, I'm going to tell you, Bo will tell you, man, those were real men. Am I not wrong there, Bo?
I agree.
Bob Goggle was one of the best.
Oh, yeah.
But, Bo, I guess we've done one over my limit. I can sit there and listen to you tell stories all night. That's what I was getting ready to tell you, Al. Right. We could talk about this to probably Friday night. But I'm going to let you go, Bo, and thank you so much, my friend. And you know what? I got a bunch of questions. I'll talk to you the 28th of April. Because I got a couple of stories I'm going to bring up that's going to make you laugh. Things are going to say, oh, my God, I forgot about this. But I love you, brother. You're a great man, and it was a pleasure having you, and I can listen to you all night. But Albert's going to ask you some stuff, and then we'll see you the 28th, but good Lord willing.
Good Lord willing, I'll be there.
Thank you, Bo.
All right.
Okay, hey, Bo.
Yes.
Now, April 28th, NFW presents April Aftermath at 5820 Metro Drive here in Evansville, Indiana. We've got you scheduled to in a match where you're taking on a member of the Rich Revolution, Vic the Bruiser Lewis, for the Tri-State title. So I'll tell you what, I know Rich is going to be listening to this, watching this. I know Vic's going to be listening and watching. So I'll tell you what, do you have anything you want to tell them guys about your match for the title?
Yes, I do. I'm no stranger to championship title. So when you begin to get in there and go at me, and I'm going at you, first of all, when you step in that ring and it's a championship match, I'm ready. I done did my homework.
There you
so
go.
All you guys is going to be standing looking and wondering who I'm going to wrestle next. Don't sweat, because I can line them up and take them off. When I get there, I'm coming 100%. The title match, I hope the gentleman that did his work.
All right.
I'll walk out with that title hat.
Hey, I was looking at the match. You know, the Rich Revolution or something else, but like I said, you're going against Vic the Bruiser for the NFW, not NFW, the Tri-State title. And it's going to be a great match, and I wish you luck on there. And Vic, I also want to thank you for being on the Luv Shack, and I will definitely look forward to seeing you on the 28th in your match. It's going to be great. So I tell you what, we're going to wrap this up. So Vic, I just want to thank you very much, and I hope you have a nice evening. And tell your sweetheart, Vic, yeah.
Before you wrap it up, I'm going against Vic the Bruiser. You can look to see that this is going to be one of the best matches on the card. Because Vic and I, when we get in there, we go 100% at 1-0.
There you go. There you go. Okay, Bo. Thank you for being here. And I tell you what, you're a true legend in the sport, and you're a credit to the wrestling business. And I wish you the best of luck on the 28th. And tell your wife I said hi. You know, she's a sweetheart also. And we'll see you the 28th, my friend.
I'll see you there.
Okay,
hey,
good night.
Can I ask you one question before you go?
Sure.
Can I see a little Coco that night? I don't know, Vic.
You're going to see a whole lot of them on Vic that night. I'm going to be stole something and hit button like he lost something.
There you go, brother. Well, listen, I like Al said, we're going to wrap. Al, did you have a special question you wanted to ask Bobo?
What's that, sir?
Did you have a special question you want to ask Bobo before we go?
Have a special question?
Yes, sir.
Are you talking about the June the 16th, possible June the 16th event?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we talked the other day about it. Bo's an ordained minister also, and he agreed to do something for me and Penny. He said, Bo, you going to give us the honor of being the one to marry me and Penny?
I definitely will. You know it for you, Al. I'll do it anytime.
All right.
All right, June the 16th, it's going to happen. I sure thank you, Bo. You are the man. You're a great individual, and I look forward to seeing you on the 28th.
I'm looking forward to being there. God bless y'all. Be safe.
God bless you too. Good night, my friend.
I'll see you there.
Good night.
Thank you, Bo.
All right, good night.
Good night.
Bye, my friend.
Good night.
Okay, Charles.
Yes, sir.
Great interview with the great man, great Christian man also, who's going to be the one to marry me and Penny. It's going to be a great. But right now, April 28th, New Focus Wrestling presents April Aftermath. We've got here some matches that's going to be on the card. Flash Flanagan, the NFW Heavyweight Champion, is going up against Gator McAllister for the title. It's going to be a tough one. And here's what I'm looking forward to seeing: Alita Ortiz and Epiphany versus Lady Vendetta and Serenity. All 4 women in that ring, and all 4 are tough. You know how Alita and Epiphany are. Them 2 tag teaming together, all heck's gonna break loose, Charles.
I'm gonna tell you something, Al. I watched that Alita Ortiz that night, and I'm gonna tell you what, that woman right there, she amazed me. She was taking men out.
Yeah.
She's a tough cover. I think she grabbed you once, didn't she, Albert?
Yeah, she kind of put the hurting on me too. I have to admit, it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good at all.
All I'm going to tell you is every time I'm around Miss Ortiz, I'm going to say, yes, ma'am. How are you, ma'am?
There you go.
Oh, she's one tough customer.
Yeah, she is. And we got other matches, too. Master Rich is wanting revenge against Nick Iggy. Nick Iggy holds a victory over Master Rich. So Master Rich is guaranteeing victory over him this time, which I don't know. Nick's a tough individual.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick Iggy came right in there in the NFW. The NFW Nation got behind him.
That's right.
I think they kind of want to see Rich get put in his place.
There you go.
The young man might just be the one to do it.
Again.
Like I've told you 100 times before.
There you go.
Mr. Rich is as sneaky as a snake. So watch.
That's right. Oh, yeah, he is. Also, Iron Man Rob Conway is going up against Dyron Flynn. That'd be a great match. And also, we got Shank versus Isaiah. Isaiah's making his NFW debut. I used to manage him not long time ago, years ago. He's a great wrestler. I'm looking forward to seeing Isaiah in the ring. Also, we got Drake Younger and the Canadian Kid, who are the No Limit title champions. They're going to be there. We also got T-Boat, Jay Mills, Flash Brothers, the Upper Class. And another match we got also is a handicap match. Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Tempest, and Johnny Whiplash going up against Hardcore Cowboy Scotty Wolf and the Owensboro Outlaw Anthony Blaze. That match there is going to be tough, 3 against 2, but I'll tell you what, you got the Hardcore Cowboy and you got the Owensboro Outlaw tag teaming, which is going to be awesome. That's going to be a fight in itself, ain't it right, Charles?
That's what I'm talking about, homeboy, right there. That's going to be a good old, hey, what's Scotty say?
What's that, sir?
What does Scotty say when he gets in that ring?
Oh, are you ready for a fight?
That's right, that's what it's going to be.
There you go. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be a slobber knocker. Okay, Charles, that's it. NFW presents April Aftermath, April 28th, Metro Sports Center, 5820 Metro Drive, here in Evansville, Indiana. Bell time 7:30. I tell you what, Charles, I'm about out of breath, so you ready to spread the love, my friend?
I sure am, Al. But first of all, I want to congratulate you and Miss Penny on your marriage there in June the 16th.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Also,
right
Charles.
Now, I got to say this right here.
Charles.
Yes.
One more thing also, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we want to send out our prayers.
Let's go on with it.
We want to send out our prayers and condolences to the Strongbow family. Chief Jay Strongbow just passed away just a couple days ago, so we send our condolences and our prayers, and God bless the whole family.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir, I'm with you on that, but right now it's time to say this right here.
Here you go.
Just remember, NFW Nation, don't fight amongst yourself. Leave the fighting to us. And once more, spread the love.